Safety Act has crippled law enforcement even greater. Illinois will have more crime, more resistance, and more in line of duty deaths. Change is definitely needed. Somehow, some way, I am begging.
That is a family member of a fallen police officer during yesterday's police memorial in Springfield. It's an annual event recognizing those who lost their lives in the line of duty. And something that draws some pretty strong emotions, no question. And all of the various elected officials there as they greet and mourn with those who've lost loved ones when they were serving in law enforcement. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop, and obviously the loss of a life is tragic and leaves a wake of sorrow and grief, but also some incredible memories, and it seems to be heightened when it's somebody who volunteered to serve the community as a first responder, firefighter, law enforcement officer, those in the medical community. Clearly, leaves a big hole in people's hearts, no question. But every year they do the police memorial in Illinois. There were 9 officers killed last year in the line of duty, and that's pretty remarkable. Here's Governor J.B. Pritzker addressing the crowd at the Illinois State Library in Springfield, right across from the Capitol yesterday during the police memorial.
They were called by a higher purpose, a calling every officer of the law answers to defend and protect our families and all that we hold dear. Their courage and their sacrifice is the glue that holds our communities together. These brave officers went above and beyond their mission, not just in the moments of extreme danger, but in their countless acts of everyday kindness, comforting a scared child, changing a tire for an elderly driver, volunteering at a community event. There was often no act too small for them. These officers touched our lives in countless ways. So to the families of the fallen who are here with us today, know that the entire state of Illinois stands with you, shoulder to shoulder and heart to heart.
So the governor sharing some messages of sorrow and unity with those who are family members of fallen law enforcement. Then Comptroller Susanna Mendoza, she was up to speak after others spoke, and she got pretty emotional and fired up when talking about the criminal justice climate in Illinois.
Now, I've decided to keep the buttons of those fallen officers top and center view on that plate for me to look at their faces every time I enter or leave my home. They're a sad but stark reminder of the fact that the policy decisions made by the names on the political buttons beneath them will have an impact on how many more police officer buttons are added to that plate. When we give more rights to the criminals than we do to our police officers, we end up with dead officers and increased crime in our communities. That'll mean more buttons on that plate.
So Mendoza clearly seeming to allude to the Safety Act and giving more rights to criminals than to law enforcement. She continued her comments yesterday.
These officers are not strangers. They're human beings. They have feelings and families. There are brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, husbands and wives, moms and dads. They chose a profession, a calling, to deal with the worst elements of society so that we don't have to, so that we can naively think that the world is a safer place than it really is. From the bottom of my heart, to all the brave men and women who wear this special uniform, who wear it to protect us. Thank you. Thank you.
So Mendoza, clearly a strident supporter of law enforcement. She has family members that are in law enforcement, but after the comments that she made about Illinois giving more rights to criminals than law enforcement is problematic. State Senator Robert Peters, and again, these are both Democrats. Robert Peters, a Democrat from Chicago. Susanna Mendoza, a Democrat comptroller. Robert Peters says crime statistics are trending favorably, and I found the remarks of MAGA Mendoza to have been in poor taste. I would prefer we don't play games with the truth in order to score some political points at a somber memorial. So interesting to kind of see some of that infighting there, but don't let that take away from the sorrow that people have as surviving members of families hit by a tragic loss. This is Kathleen Romanek, Emmy. She is the sister of Marlene Romanek, a Bradley Police Department officer that was killed just before New Year's Eve on 2021. And here's some of what she had to say in front of that crowd and in front of Governor J.B. Pritzker and other legislators that were there for the memorial.
In Illinois, we need better laws that protect our police officers. In 2024, Illinois was number 1 in our nation in the line of duty deaths. Cop killers should face life in prison without a chance of parole or even what I think, especially in our family's case, the death penalty for cases of extreme violence and cruelty. Illinois Safety Act has crippled law enforcement even greater. Illinois will have more crime, more resistance, and more in line of duty deaths. Change is definitely needed. Somehow, some way, I am begging. And
you saw her there look back at Governor Pritzker, at Comptroller Mendoza, and others as she pushed for changes to the Safety Act. Will that spur on any changes for this legislative session? Well, as I pointed out, Robert Peters calling Mendoza, MAGA Mendoza, when this conversation comes up in further debate. We'll be watching that closely. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning as we DJ the news. I am a news jockey in the mornings, but I'm also associate editor of the Center Square for Illinois. So go to thecentersquare.com. We're a free newswire service, nonprofit. Definitely appreciate any donations you can make to keep us going. So like, subscribe, hit that notification bell here on YouTube so that you can wake up with us every weekday morning. Don't forget about the weekend edition of Illinois in Focus. And also, if you need to get the podcast anywhere else, just search Illinois in Focus.